How is it going? This is CueBall's Bearded Rambles, episode 21. Wow, 21. On today's episode, don't laugh, on today's episode of Bearded Rambles, I have somebody who I have known since he was a nipper. I haven't seen him in like 10 years, which is crazy. But anyway, let's get on with this long-ass introduction because I think he deserves this. So, this person who you will see on the screen, he is the first ever Evolution Wrestling Academy champion. The only two-time Evolution Wrestling middleweight champion. The current, and he is also a two-time tag team champion, now with Dale Johnson.
Yep.
And the last one, he is building up to it. I'm not, I just completely forgot what I was going to say, but building. And he's the youngest champion in every single division that Evolution Wrestling has to offer, apart from the female division for obvious reasons. So this is Evolution Wrestling superstar, Liam Jones.
Sweet. Big round of applause. Great intro.
Yeah, shame I stumbled on that one. Anyway, so how you been, man?
Good. Just saying, like, it's not been... When I last seen you, I must have been 8. I must have been about 8 or 9 years old. And I've grown up into a real horrible human being with real bad opinions and a lot of people which probably don't like me. Good reasons.
We're going to probably dig into them on this. I like this. This is what I like. So, yeah, so I've known you since you're about 8 years old, about 7, 8 years old. And I always remember you because you would always try and kick the shit into me. Don't know why. You just did. That was you.
But I remember the Evolution Academy started off at a Hamstead Village Hall in Gloucester. And at the very back of the hall, there was this like outdoor shed, which the ring would have brought from there into the venue and set up. Bear in mind, like these posts were filled with concrete.
Yeah.
And I wasn't lifting them at that age. I had a football and I'd be booting at everyone trying to carry the ring. That's what I remember.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah. Fucking crazy times, man. That Village Hall as well. You know, I was like a few academy shows in there as well, didn't we? If I remember rightly.
Yeah.
Crazy, absolutely fucking crazy, man. Right. So we're gonna get into the questions. This is the first question being because I like to ask this question anyway. So how and why did you get into wrestling?
So I started training at the age of about 5. Growing up, I never watched wrestling. So when it was kind of like set up as like more like a family friendship business, my mum would be away at weekends, so I'd kind of get dragged along. And everyone would be like, oh, come on, Liam, come on, jump in. Like, you know, like you do. It's like a little child, like a little dog. You're going to want to play with them. You're going to want to mess around. And then they was all like, oh, just get in. Like, one of my very earliest memories of training was Vicky Haskins.
Yeah.
I can't remember what her name was back then. And we was like training, and I was female, she had long nails, and we was training, they were supposed to do like this drill. I was a child. No child should ever start training at that age because they don't want to learn wrestling. I remember they was trying to do a sequence, and I don't know, it might have been an international, I don't know. And she tried to grab me. I just kept worming around. I remember like breaking off her nails, and like I just remember being like this real annoying little kid, forced into training. Ended up doing real stupid stunts off ladders, onto tables, onto Lego. Made a bit of a career, but I'll see what the future holds.
Yeah, we all do stupid things, I suppose, don't we? But it's about making a name for ourselves, I suppose, isn't it? But I
try to do that without dying, I guess, is the best way to put it.
I can't say I've ever gone as far as Lego, but I've gone as far as popcorn. Yeah.
I think it was one of my last within the last 4 matches before lockdown. Me and Thomas Winters guts out like the black bag from under the ring. Everyone's expecting thumbtacks, Lego everywhere. There was another bag, but they didn't use it. Lego everywhere. I gave him a superplex off the top rope onto all this Legos. There's an awesome clip which Wrestlography, big shout out to. He had a massive, brilliant. There's a picture, and as we hit the ring so hard and we come up in the air, is us floating with all this Lego up in the air. It's a beautiful picture.
Nice. Cool. So going back to the Hamstead Village Hall days, I remember there was quite a few guys there who are still active, which is good to see.
Yeah.
Obviously, you got your Charlie Sterling, which was back then Charlie Garrett, I believe.
Zach
Garrett, that's one. You obviously had Rory. I can never remember what his name is. What name was?
So, boy, he had lots of names. He had something, I can't remember what it was, when he teamed with what's now Fraser Thomas as Ambassadors of Violence.
That way, and they used to do
some. Yeah. They had, who else was down there? Yeah, he named himself Seb Skyler at one point. He called himself Jimmy Darling.
Okay.
Can't remember what else he used to call himself. He went through loads of names, to be fair to him.
Crazy. Then there was, remember we had a few seminars down there. There was Mad Dog Max was one of them. Obviously T-Bone being, there was a few which I'm not going to mention just because of stuff that's happened. But yeah, I thought it was great. And I don't even know why I left, but we just do stupid things at the end of the day, you know, what it is. So anyway, as a child, what was it like doing your first match? I know obviously it would have been during an academy show, but essentially it's still your first match. So how did you feel?
So this is the thing. Everyone gets nervous. But I think when I'd done it at such a young age, it didn't faze me. I just thought, oh, this is cool. I'm going to try and make people like think I'm wicked. I called myself Venom because I was very creative. I had knee pads, which had the Venom brand on it. And I thought, that's going to be my name. I remember, I think it was one of the first things I come out, I get in the ring. Bear in mind, I didn't have a clue about like Spider-Man or none of this type of stuff. I get in the ring and it's like this, I'm going to call him Mark. He goes, oh, Venom, what a cool name. Taking the piss. But as a kid, I was like, oh, I must be the best wrestler in the world right now. I remember the finish was I had a manager. This like little 8-year-old boy has a manager who has a briefcase for whatever reason. Comes out in tracksuit bottoms, has a briefcase. And the villain gets the suitcase and he goes to hit me. I duck. I didn't need a duck because of how short I was. Hits the ropes, catches himself in the face, and I get the pin. I remember that, and I just thought I was on top of the world. I really did. I got pictures. I wish I had footage somewhere. I wish I had it.
Yeah, I would love to see the footage of them shows. They was fairly decent. You know, we always managed to get a lot of people come in. It was.
I remember we do like these Saturday night academy shows. We'd leave the ring up and we'd have training the next following Sunday. And like, obviously I didn't, I was a child, but they'd have like drinks in, pizza in, we'll crash in the ring or on a crash mat. So I remember I used to always sleep underneath the ring. That was my little spot, hiding under the ring.
So long ago, man. It's unreal. This is like a bit of nostalgia for me. It's just talking about all this. So obviously, you know, you've grown up now. So what's different? Obviously, there's going to be loads of difference, but what's different from wrestling as a child to wrestling as an adult?
I hit puberty. That's the biggest difference.
Okay.
No, so obviously, growing up when I was younger, I was doing like odd academy shows or whatever. But I always knew, not in an egotistical way, but I always knew when I trained at such a young age with such massive names, I would be able to go out there and I'd be able to have, not necessarily a 5-star match, but I'd be able to have a decent match and get through it. And I was about maybe 16, 15, and I was weighing like near enough that same age in stone. So I was like massive as a kid. And I was like, I want to get on shows. I know I can do it. I want to get on shows. And they was like, okay, you want to get on shows, you get in shape. So within 6 months, I went down from like 15, 16 stone to 11 stone, to a point where because of like, obviously I was still in school and I'd been like labeled like the fat kid. Yeah. I was skinny, my ribs were showing, I'd still be like, look, it's the fat kid. I made myself very ill, like to a point where like my ribs were showing, it which didn't look healthy. And then there's like, you can go on shows now. And through the years, I started off like As a term like jobbing, like when you first start, you shouldn't be out there like as a main star, in my opinion. So I started off jobbing, which I guess was the right thing.
Yeah,
but then
I agree.
Progressively, I started working these big names. No disqualification, steel cage match, ladder match, extreme rules match. Like, I'm just going up and up in my career, working company to company. I think the biggest difference for me now is understanding the value of myself.
Okay.
Put myself first and actually understanding the business. I think that's the biggest difference growing up for me.
Yeah, I think so as well. Obviously, you have made history in Evolution Wrestling because obviously not only are you've been all these champions, but you've also participated in first ever matches. So you, like you said, you've had the cage match, you've had the ladder matches, your Extreme Rules matches, and half of them, or most of them, you have ever person to participate in them. How does that feel? I mean, that makes me pretty fucking awesome because Evolution Wrestling, you guys, in my opinion, are actually up there. You know?
The craziest bit for me, out of all them matches, yeah, that's sick matches. The craziest bit for me was the steel cage match. So it was booked as a championship match, and it was supposed to be just a standard match. And the main event was Bram versus Yeston Reese in the steel cage match. And it was Bram and Yeston that put forward that me and Dave Eaton had the first steel cage match before them. I think that's like the coolest bit about all of their matches. Like, yeah, obviously there was like business or reasons why, but it's just so cool that at least someone was like, okay, we need to have someone else in this cage match before us to make sense for the rest of the show. Or else it just would have been break, one match, done. But for them to suggest that we done it, like, it just felt amazing. Do you know what I mean? Like, such high names praising you and giving that you deserve. I think that's the best bit out of all their matches for me.
Well, yeah, because essentially they believe in you, you know?
Like, I was their first full match as well against Johnny Storm.
Yeah.
I've known Johnny for a bit of a while, like, had good conversations, had like plenty of matches. We had like a really hot rivalry at the time. And I remember we was just like, let's just go out there and have fun. Like, that's all it was. He was like, oh, I might like say get a kid from the crowd and body slam him onto you. I might do something stupid. I was like, okay, let's just go blow like the roof off this place. And he picks up this grown ass man and just shoots him onto me. And then, like, next thing up, I'm feeding up, and he's got a foam finger on his hand, and he's running towards me. He hits me. I just take a bump off of it. I'm like, whoa, on the floor. And it's these little moments which you remember makes wrestling special. That's what it is, moments.
Yeah, definitely, 100% agree on that. Right, so moving on then. So, been around wrestling a long time. So, what would you say, a label on it, what would you say is your favourite match you've had so far in your career, with it being in Evolution Wrestling, if it's been anywhere else?
So, there's a few which are real special to me and my favourite. So I wrestled Lionheart at GL1, which is like the biggest venue in Gloucester.
Beautiful venue. And
I'm not sure if he'd like not long since returned to wrestling after obviously his injury. I think that match special was the compliments he gave me afterwards, because I think he just thought I was like some random straw, a random div he never knew of. He didn't talk to me until the music of the match before us was ending. So you think I had about 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes of talking to him before going out there and doing a 15-minute match. So we got out there and like, I think the first thing I'd done was over the top dive to the floor. And afterwards he was like, okay, like, we're getting into it, and we was working on the floor and he's getting into it. And then we started doing some cool spots, and afterwards he goes, I wish I knew you was that good. He goes, or else we would have done a lot more. And he said, hopefully we'll work each other again. And that was special for me. That, like, Styles he'd wrestled, Rob Van Dam he'd wrestled. And now he's saying like that he enjoyed my match, like working with me. That's special. But I think another special match is, there's no names. It was me, someone that used to work for us called Leon Hendricks, someone called Charlie Birch, who was actually Yeston Reese's stepson. It was an elimination triple threat match, and we were supposed to be the pre-show, and then we got bumped up to first. We're like, okay, we'll do this. No one knew of us there. I'm usually about to play, and like some of their own boys at this company, because it wasn't for Evo, it was somewhere else. I'm not going to name the company, because I don't want to like shit on their boys. And they was like, they're not going to like anything you do. I'm like, sorry? He goes, you're going to go out there, you're not going to get a reaction. They won't enjoy anything you've planned. So I'm like, okay, sick. Go out there, and we get a standing ovation from the finish. And the crowd is loving it, to the point where the promoter told me he would not book me because I had a bigger reaction in the main event. And I come backstage, and they was all like, okay, we're sorry, we didn't realise that you was going to be that good. I think that's one of the first places I had a proper conversation with Johnny Storm, where he was just saying to us, like, that was absolutely brilliant, but you just need to do this, and that. But that was absolutely, and I was like, it was that point where I proved them people, but all three of us, we proved that we had the talent to go out there in front of a crowd that don't know us and make them stand on their feet and remember us. That's something that's special.
Sounds good, man. That sounds really good. I've actually, in my time, come across a promoter that didn't want to book me anymore because I outshone him. Funny enough, he actually is in Gloucester. I'm not going to mention his name just in case he watched this. I don't want to fucking have shit. I don't want the drama. But
that's to the promoter.
After this, I'll tell you. Then you're going to know who it is anyway.
I reckon I do anyway.
You are, sorry.
I reckon I do anyway. That's mine.
So before this gets even more heated, well, if it does anyway, we're going to move on to the next question. So, be as honest as you want about this. The more honest the better, in my opinion. But what are your thoughts on the independent scene right now?
Bollocks. I hate it.
Okay.
So, try and go into this without causing too much arguments after this, because I have enough people arguing me in my messages. So, you think how many companies there are which are started up by wrestlers that want to get themselves booked or get themselves over or give themselves a belt? Companies that are made by fans and marks, which aren't drawing people in, are just absolute dog. And how many wrestlers are in it just for themselves? If I go to a show, I want to wrestle you and know I'm going to trust you with my life. You could drop me on my head, but you also need to learn that I'm going to try my best to make you look good, and you're going to do the same for me. Whereas there's too many people out there for themselves, or want to cause problems backstage, or have an ego and be like, I'm the best one here. I don't need to talk to you. I don't need to listen to you. Your advice means nothing. This is the problem with wrestling. And I'm sure it's not just British wrestling. I'm sure it's everywhere. But you get this in every walk of life, every job, whatever. You'll always have someone that thinks they know best. But when I'm trusting you not to hurt me, that's when I need to know, okay, you have some sort of respect and you have some sort of care for my life. But there's none of that these days. No respect, no care, no nothing. And I think that's the biggest problem. That's the biggest problem with the scene. Like, these movements have been good. Like, we've outed certain people that needed to be outed. But then there's also so many things which were just brushed under the carpet. Names were mentioned. I'm friends with him. Brushed under the carpet. I think we can't pick and choose who we want to either go or have an argument with. If you're trying to do something that's genuinely for a legitimate reason for the better of wrestling, let's not try and keep things on a quiet. I like him. I'm not going to say nothing. He's done something nice for me. Keep that quiet. You've done something wrong. You're a bellend. Get the fuck out. That's the way it needed to be. But I think that's the biggest problem with wrestling. People are just using it for their own personal advantages and their own personal dangers rather than the industry itself.
Well, yeah. I again, I agree. I mean, you know yourself, wrestling is built on respect, and the people you're in the ring with, you got to be able to trust them. You may not know these people, but they still like you got to trust. Yeah, it's crazy. It's the amount of egos. I mean, it's but it's nice when you can come across people who aren't like that. There are people out there. Surprisingly, it's
I don't want to say too much on this because there's people that I will genuinely end up having arguments with in my messages, and I do not want to deal with that. But there's people that are just using this for either their own popularity or to make money off their own social medias, rather than thinking this is a wrestling business. This is something which benefits more than just me. I'm on a show with another 10, 12, 11, whatever wrestlers. I want to make all of them look good. I'm not doing something, so you'll then look at my social media and you'll then pay to watch me do whatever. That's not what it needs to be. At the end of the day, fans put us in our place. Fans pay money, they buy our merch. We need to treat them with respect as well as the other people in the locker room. Let's not mug people off. If fans want to message you or talk to you, or they want to be like, can you say happy birthday to my son? He loves you. Let's not be like, okay, tenner. No, that's not how life works. If I'm walking down the street or I'm at a meeting, you're like, oh, it's my birthday today, £20, please. It doesn't work like that. Let's start getting real. We are supposed to be genuine, caring, nice human beings who look after people, which put us in our place. And that's the way it should be.
Love it. Absolutely fucking love it, man. Love it. I like it.
I had an argument with someone recently. I'm not going to go into too much details because I disagree with charging your fans money for something which takes 2 seconds out of your life, takes 10 minutes away from being an asshole and being a caring person to do something good for someone that's paid money for you to get somewhere. If it wasn't for fans paying, you would never ever have a wrestling show. Look after those people. Don't treat them like a mug. Give them what they want. Give them what they deserve. Don't rip them off. That's what I'm saying on this.
I agree. And if nobody agrees to that, then there's something wrong there.
All there, gap.
Yeah. Right. So this is the interesting part of the show now, where sorry?
That wasn't controversial enough then. About to get controversial.
Well, this is the fun part of my show, to be honest. This is where I find a picture of your past, and I like to bring it up, whether it be embarrassing, whether it be funny. It's just for a laugh. We're not here to disrespect anybody at all. So this is CueBall's Cutout. I still haven't done an intro thing for this yet. I will get around to it. And if this photo doesn't come up for the people who are watching this, I will put this in this somewhere in the screen when I'm editing it and all that. So you will find it. Can you see that?
Yes.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So what is going on there? Explain all the who, what, where, and how bollocks.
Okay. So this is my first match. So see, obviously that's me on the ropes with pink, purple hair, which I'll get to in a minute. But there's a kid stood next to me with long hair and like a real baggy t-shirt. That was my supposed manager, which had the briefcase. I love this picture. And I had a pair of tights, which someone in my school's parents made for me. And I think they were girls' shoes, to be honest. Like, that's why they're pink at the bottom, because I couldn't get any of my size. It wasn't even about trying to have like a Jeff Hardy look or nothing. I think it was literally just a case of like, I had pink on my kit. They looked absolutely sick. It's like a 5-year-old kid, this bright neon pink gloves. And I needed to top it off with some pink hairspray, like looking as white as a milk bottle as well. Oh, I love this picture. And that's the old ring with the concrete posts in.
That's right.
Well, yeah,
nice
wow.
ring. To be fair, it's one of the nicest rings I've still beaten. Oh, that sounds so fucking dodgy, but you know what I mean? One of the best wrestling rings I beat. Yeah, you know what I mean? There's no one doing this at all. Yeah. So that was an academy show, if I'm right in thinking, isn't it?
Yes, I hope a child of that age never goes on to a main show. I hope a child younger than 15 at least should never go on a main show. I hope.
Yeah.
My thoughts and prayers are with you on that.
Do you remember who you was against in this match? I think you said earlier, but I can't remember.
Yes. So his real name was Brent, and he wrestled as Atom.
Yes, I remember him.
He was absolutely wicked. He was amazing. And for family relationship reasons, he stopped wrestling. If he didn't stop wrestling, I guarantee he'd be in the same place that the likes of T-Bone would be in. Not necessarily maybe signed to the UK NXT, but they'd at least be somewhere high up in the Indies right now. Yeah, he was so good for the time as well. So this must have been about 2006, roughly 2006, 2007, and he was doing 450s and stuff that no one had seen at that time, and it was just incredible.
We are. There's CUEBALLS cutouts, and once I've got this down, we'll go into the next question. So there we go. Because I remember Brent, because he done Atom. He done the 2 gimmicks, didn't he? He done obviously Atom, and then he done the luchador kind of gimmick as well.
He done a luchador gimmick, and at Evolution they used to have Spider the Man, so no one can copyright it. Or get done for it. Spider the Man, and he would be Spider the Man, do double duty, and someone else would dress up in this costume which he just got all sweaty in for the halftime pictures. So they'd have Spider the Man and Atom, who was the same person. Oh yeah, he was brilliant.
Crazy. So this part is something I have recently introduced because I feel it's important that about a lot. I mean, I don't know if you deal with mental health yourself, but if you do, if you would be happy just to speak about it, how you deal with mental health outside of the ring and inside of wrestling, then feel free to talk about it. If you don't want to, we can just continue on to the next question.
No, that's fine. I feel this is a real, genuine, not wrestling, no bullshit gimmick opinion. I think everyone has at least some part of mental health. Whether you believe it or you've been diagnosed or not, everyone has some point mental health issues. That can just be from me saying you look like an idiot. I could say that, and you could really take offense to that, which is why people do need to be careful what they say to one another. Like if I'm with my mates and I say you look like a bellend, that's okay. That's like I'm having banter with them. But if you're just people, and here's another thing which I'm going to talk about right here. If you're going to be one of these Twitter, internet, keyboard geek warriors, and you're going to say you're a load of shit or whatever, and say whatever you want, stop. You are affecting people's lives. You are genuinely hurting people. And this is coming from someone who's not even 20 yet. And I've experienced some real horrible stuff. I have messages very frequently. So obviously, a lot of female wrestlers talk about how they have very sexual messages or things like that. I get that a lot from men. I had that from the age I properly debuted, which would have been about 15, 16, where I'd have old men or just men in general, or even females, giving me these messages, these creepy messages, which obviously that's not okay. Like, it's not okay, especially at a young age like as I was. But I also get messages like death messages. I turned villain purely because of the reason I lost, when I first lost, or second time I lost my middleweight championship, fans said they were that disappointed. They were sending me messages on how they want me dead. Which, if you're into it, that is completely cool. But don't take your time away from a show to message me and tell me that type of stuff. Don't go to extremes. People are going to extremes to hurt each other now. Let's stop it. Let's look out for each other. Let's support each other. If someone says, I'll tell you what, I'm not feeling okay, I'm not feeling this, like, I'm a bit down today, don't be like, oh, just fucking man up. That's a load of bollocks. Say, okay, what's wrong? Oh, like, you don't feel well, like, your head's not in the right place, okay, give it 5-10 minutes, see how you feel. You're still not okay. Okay, promoter, whoever's about, maybe can we push this back a little bit, or can we swap something? People need to be more understanding that, yes, we're wrestlers, yes, we're characters, yes, we're here for entertainment, but we are still actual, genuine human beings outside of this character. Don't send me pictures of you in my village, which I don't put on social media, and say that you're going to kill me. That's not okay. Look at the bigger picture. What's her name in WWE? Sonya Deville. She just went through a load of crap because some bloke's been stalking her on social media and went to her house. Let's not make that okay. Let's get rid of all these creeps. Stop messaging people with creepy stuff. Stop DMing. Stop commenting, you have a nice ass. Stop commenting, you look fit. Okay? It's weird. People don't like it. Get a real life, get a girlfriend, and jog on. Okay? Let's, be real. Be real. Be caring. Be understanding. Stop being douchebags. I think that's
Oh, yeah, I know. Everything you said is true. There's too much negativity around, not just in wrestling, but also in real life. Especially with this whole pandemic going on, nobody really needs to be having mental health problems. I mean, I just came out of it myself. This is why this has taken so long, actually, because I had a couple of mental breakdowns, and it's just silly things, that gets you. But that's just mental health, and it's okay to not be okay. And like Liam said, and if somebody is trying to reach out to you, then maybe you should try and speak to them. It may take time, but eventually they might actually find the trust in you to speak to you.
And this yourself, or just for other wrestlers, even fans, because I have fans messaging me with their problems, and I'm okay to talk to them. I'm not going to charge you like some of these other idiots message me. Literally, message me on Instagram, message me on Facebook, message me on Twitter. I might not reply straight away because I'm genuinely a real busy person, but I will find 5 minutes out of my time to talk to you. I'm sure you do this thing, and I'm sure there's so many other people that do the same thing. Don't be afraid to message people.
Yeah, it's true. It's that feeling like a burden that I think that's the main issue with keeping up. Which I do. I find it really hard to speak to people, even my wife, and I've been married God, I've been a few good damn years, and I still find it hard myself. It's just sometimes you gotta think, fuck it, and just speak. Yeah, just go for it. No. Right, so this is my last question. He's gone.
Yeah.
He's gone.
Am I back?
There he is. He's back. Way. Get the cheap pop. We get it. So, on a positive note, what are your goals in wrestling?
My goal?
Yeah, what are your goals?
I think anyone that says their goal is not to be signed, whether it be by WWE or not, is a liar. I've been training very hard at the minute with people which I'm not going to name because I don't want to get anyone in trouble. I've been training very hard. Also, yeah, my ultimate end goal is to be signed to UK brands. I think that should be a goal for near enough everyone in the UK right now. I think that's the bar which is set, which you need to aim for. But I just want to have fun as well. I want to have fun. I want to make friends. I want to go to more places. I've done, 1 or 2 shows for UPW, for example. But I want to try and get to every promotion I can, travel across the country and make new friends. I want to hang out with people which are cool. I want to sell with people which I can get on with and let's have a drink, let's have a meal, whatever. Let's have a good time. That is my goal and my goal is to make wrestling good again. Because I think, like I said, there is so much BS going on. I think we need someone to break up. You're only going to get anywhere if you're from a certain school. You're only going to get anywhere if you're in a certain clique of friends. I want to be the one to break that mold, especially in the Southwest scene. I'm not going to name names or anything, but you look across the whole of the Southwest scene. I guarantee there's a pattern where people come from either just the same school or the same friendship groups. Like I said, I'm not going to name anything because they're all good workers. I'm not going to bash it. But I want to be the one to break the mold and say, I may not come from a school which you all care about. I might not be friends with everyone that you care about, but I'm going to be here because I'm a good wrestler. That is my goal.
And I will support you. I like that as well. So, you want to start a hashtag? Should we get the shit going?
Hashtag stop being a douche.
Hashtag what?
Stop being a douche. I think
Hashtag
that's
stop. There we go. We'll start this. This should be the hashtag for the in the description. Hashtag stop being a douche. This will be the hashtag that goes into my post as well when I post this. Put in. That's all my questions for you, man. There was no fan submitted questions. Don't know why. They need to. I like it when fans do the old interaction thing. It's nice because they think of questions that I can't think of. So, is there anything you'd like to add to this? I know.
Yeah. Yes. Got Instagram on private.
Have I got my Instagram on private?
Yes.
I have. Yes.
Can you make a second account?
What is that?
Because I could not share this or any of your posts or anything on social media. I could not share it onto my store or anything. And I think more people should see this type of stuff. I think more people deserve, because this was a good interview, and I think more people deserve to see at least more of your social media posts and what they do.
I consider it. The reason why it's private is because it's not only my wrestling stuff I do on there, it's also my personal life.
Yeah.
But no, I agree. I know what you're saying, so I will consider it.
Also, I have personal accounts and other accounts, and if you message me, I'll reply. But if you're a fan, please understand that I also do have family on there. Don't try and add them, because that's something which I've had quite a lot. I think I speak on behalf of a lot of other wrestlers as well. Support our pages, our merchandise, or whatever, but just consider we are also personal, real-life people. Like, don't try and come into our personal lives or our family or add our family. That's not cool. I think that's something which most people can agree on.
Yeah, I agree with you as well. In fact, I agree. I've just pretty much agreed with you on every single thing. I'm not trying to be a kiss ass, but everything you said, your opinions, I fully support as well.
Person to.
Sorry?
I think you're the first person to agree with me on everything.
Yeah, but I'm not that much of a twat, though.
There is that. Not being a douche.
There we go. Hashtag stop being a douche. There we go. So, this is the end of CueBall's Bearded Rambles, episode 21. Thank you to my guest, Liam Jones, Kid Candy, Sweet Kid Candy, Venom, whatever you want to call him. I've been a bold-headed brawler, CueBall, the person you love to hate the most, or whatever you want to do. That's it. I'm shit with these outros. Oh, that's it. There we go. So go and like his wrestling page. Go and follow his Instagram page. Go and follow Evolution Wrestling as well on Facebook, Instagram. I suppose you have Twitter as well. I don't know. I don't use it myself. That's it. Like, subscribe to my channel, turn your notifications on. I don't know that fucking mumbo fucking bollock shit. I don't know what it is. I'm not a YouTuber. Anyway, stay safe, stay positive. Hashtag don't be a douche. Hashtag yeah.